हेलो दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है राहुल सिंह और आज का वीडियो है उन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए जो इस समय सीए की जर्नी में हैं, दोज हु आर गोइंग थ्रू दिस सीए जर्नी, दोज हु आर इन आईपीसीसी और फाइनल, जो अपने एग्ज़ाम्स नवंबर में राइट करने वाले हैं या मे बी नेक्स्ट मे में, एंड हु आर फीलिंग प्रॉब्लम और फेसिंग प्रॉब्लम विद डीलिंग विद ऑडिट सब्जेक्ट, दैट इज़ अ थ्योरी सब्जेक्ट। और सब प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि स्टूडेंट्स आर वेरी फ्राइटेंड ऑफ दिस सब्जेक्ट। उनको लगता है कि ऑडिट में यार मार्क्स लाना बहुत मुश्किल है, एंड मार्केट में ये डर, ये मिसकंसेप्शन फैला हुआ है कि दैट आप ऑडिट थ्योरी सब्जेक्ट में मार्क्स लाना मुश्किल है, एग्जामिशन लाना मुश्किल है और आप कितनी भी मेहनत कर लें आपके मार्क्स नहीं आते। तो आज इस चीज़ को डील करने के लिए मैं ये वीडियो बनाया है। सबसे पहले मैं थोड़ा अपने बारे में आपको बताना चाहूँगा। I cleared my CA final in November 2017 attempt with All India rank 43 in my very first attempt. I cleared my IPCC in November 2014 with 458 marks in my very first attempt, and I even cleared my CPT in my very first attempt. So I have cleared my CA journey all throughout in very first attempt with both groups and with very good marks. And in IPCC and final, I secured exemption in audit. I secured 64 marks in audit in IPCC and 63 marks in audit in CA final. So when I was going through my preparation, even I used to be frightened like how to deal with this subject. But I came up with certain strategy which has helped me in IPCC and final. That strategy I want to share with you. So before going on to the strategy, first I want to discuss with you some of the myths that are associated with audit preparation that students face, and they it just वो बात चलती रहती है, आगे चलती रहती है। एक नेक्स्ट बैच आएगा, उसको आप बताएंगे कि ऑडिट में ये है, वो भी करने लगेंगे, फिर वो अपने बैच को बताएंगे, लाइक दिस इट गोज ऑन। सो सबसे पहला मिथ है कि सर हम ऑडिट के बारे में कि हम ऑडिट में कितनी भी तैयारी कर लें, कितनी भी जान लगा लें, क्योंकि ये एक थ्योरी सब्जेक्ट है, इसमें वी कैन नॉट फिच वेरी गुड मार्क्स। दैट इज मिथ नंबर 1। मिथ नंबर 2 इज coaching is very important, or it is very difficult to clear theory subject without coaching. That also has been seen in most of the students. When I say most of the students, it means around 80% or 85%, because there are some students who have easily cleared it without coaching. But this video is specifically for majority of the students who are facing this dilemma. Third myth is that the students who have worked in audit or who are doing audit or that articleship from Big Four, they will have some advantage in dealing with audit questions. But let me make it very clear to you one by one. That first myth that sir कितनी भी मेहनत कर लें, कितना भी कुछ भी कर लें, मार्क्स आना मुश्किल है, ये बहुत ही बेसिक परसेप्शन बना हुआ है ऑडिट को लेके, जो एक स्टूडेंट दूसरे स्टूडेंट को बोलता रहता है और दूसरे स्टूडेंट को डराता रहता है, जिसकी वजह से उसके मन में पहले ही इतना डर बैठ जाता है कि वो अप्रोच ही नहीं करता, वो कोशिश ही नहीं करता उतनी जितनी वो कर सकता है, और उसके मन में बैक ऑफ द माइंड इट इज़ ऑलवेज देयर कि यार इस सब्जेक्ट में फेल हो जाएंगे, इस सब्जेक्ट की वजह से मेरा एग्जाम रुक जाएगा। तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। अगर आपकी स्ट्रेटेजी राइट है, you are doing the revision properly, and whatever you have revised, you are executing it on the paper in those 3 hours, then institute will honor that, institute will give you good marks for your performance. Second thing is that coaching is very important for passing this theory paper. What I experienced is during these 3 or 4 years that in theory especially, coaching is not of that much help, because even in my CA final I paid audit fees in some coaching. I went there for around 1 week, but I realized that instead of giving 3 hours there, it is better that I give it self study, and I will be able to save some time and utilize that time for some of my practical subjects. So that is also, coaching is not important. If you can give 2 hours or 2.5 hours, that is what I will share with you what I did, then coaching you don't need to waste 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 or whatever amount is there in coaching. You can utilize that time and you can save that money. Of course हमारे पेरेंट्स बहुत मेहनत करके पैसा कमाते हैं, जहाँ कोचिंग में बचा सको बचाओ, मेरा तो यही मानना है। मैंने CA फाइनल में भी बहुत कोचिंग में पैसे बचाए थे। थर्ड मिथ इज कि आर्टिकलशिप वाला कि those who have worked in audit will have an advantage. So let me make it very clear. Exams में you get marks for what you remember rather than for what knowledge you have. You might be having very good practical knowledge, you might have worked with different audit assignments, everything is there, that is also going to add to your personality. But to get the marks, you need to remember the things what are written in the book. Your experience will not get you marks. what you read, what you remember, and what you write is only going to give you marks, and those marks are going to get you passed in the exams. So just focus on remembering. That is the whole art. That is what I realized, that if I remember what is written in the book and I just present it on the paper as per the requirement of the examiner, then I can easily clear this examination. There will not be any issue. सो बच्चों के अंदर बहुत डर होता है. लोग एक दूसरे से बोलते हैं कि यार ऑडिट में तो पास ही होना मुश्किल है, ऑडिट तुम अगर फर्स्ट ग्रुप दे रहे हो तो क्या नाम है FR SFM स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लो, ऑडिट में और लॉ में 40 नंबर ला के भी काम चल जाएगा, 200 बना लेंगे कैसे भी करके. बोथ ग्रुप दे रहे हो तो ऑडिट और लॉ और ITSM इसका है, और यहाँ जब ऑप्शनल है उसमें थोड़ा मैनेज कर लो. बट आई फील दैट इज़ अ रॉन्ग अप्रोच. अगर आप इफ़ यू प्लान प्रॉपरली देन यू कैन मेक ऑडिट एज योर एडवांटेज. इफ़ यू कैन क्लेम एग्जेम्पशन इन ऑडिट or law for that matter, it takes burden away from your practical subjects. अगर सोचिए you get a very tough practical exam like SFM, sometimes it is a very tricky exam, or FR, and you are not able to fulfill your expectations in those exams, then and you have not prepared that well in audit, you have just prepared for passing, so it will obviously it is going to impact your aggregate and you will lose one attempt. So that is not a very smart strategy. Rather than, what I decided was that I'll tell you now my strategy, what I did. That first of all, what students feel is after getting that book, the syllabus is so much. In audit, there is a lot of syllabus like professional ethics is there, standards on auditing is there, company audit is there, other so many different types of audit topics are there. So first thing what I did was that I decided that I will give 2 hours daily to my audit preparation without break in last 2 or 3 months, whatever you are giving for your revision. First thing is that 2 hours on daily basis, because some students what they will do, they will feel that I will give 1 week or 10 days, I will read all the audit topics, then before the exam one time more I will revise this topic and I will write it in the exams. So if you are feeling that with this strategy you are going to remember whatever you have read and you are going to present it on the paper and get good marks, I think so that is a misconception, or that is you are expecting too much out of your memory. Rather than, what should be the approach is that I decided that I will give 2 hours daily without break, and I separated the syllabus into 4 parts. First part was standards on auditing, second part was professional ethics, third part was company audit, and fourth part was whatever was left. Then what I did, I took one chapter from this whatever was left, took one chapter from company audit, 2 clauses of professional ethics, and 1 essay. That used to be my one block. I used to make one block. Then what I will do is, on daily basis, I will read 2 clauses of professional ethics. I will read 1 essay. That used to take me around half an hour or something, it will be done. Rest 1.5 hours or 1 hour. What I used to do, I used to pick that one chapter, whatever I have decided. I will give time to that chapter. And when that chapter is finished, the second chapter which I have taken from company audit or some other topic, that I will finish. That used to be my strategy, and it used to take around 2 days or 3 days maximum. And on daily basis, what I am doing is, instead of giving wholeheartedly 1 week or 10 days, daily I am doing little bit syllabus. 2 clauses of professional ethics, 1 essay on daily basis. 2 clauses, 1 essay. So what will happen is, while you are preparing your main topics, this professional ethics and standards on auditing will be done simultaneously and automatically. So you don't need to give a specific time to them. Just give 15 minutes, 20 minutes on daily basis, and focus on other big topics for which you require a lot of time in reading. That is the second thing. Now third thing is that even if you have read very well, the biggest complaint is that sir आज पढ़ा है, एक हफ्ते बाद याद करते हैं तो कुछ याद रहता है, कुछ नहीं रहता. 5 पॉइंट पढ़े तो 2 याद हैं, 3 भूल गए. यहाँ चैप्टर का नाम याद है, बाकी तो सब गॉन केस है. तो how to avoid that thing, how to remember what you have read so that you can write it in the examination hall. That is the most important thing. If you don't remember it, there is no point in reading. You can skip it. You can better go play something if you are not going to revise what you have read. So what I used to do, that whatever 2 hours mein whatever I have read today, before going to sleep, I used to give 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, I used to take the book and just go through whatever I have read, and try to just close my eyes and try to remember, yeah, these 5 points are there, these 4 points are there, this is there, this should be done. And second day, when I'm again sitting for audit, I used to give first 15 minutes for revising whatever I have read yesterday or day before yesterday, and ensuring that whatever I have read, whatever points I have read, I remember those points. This used to be a continuous exercises till the day of my exams. And what more I did was that if I am doing something unproductive, like which unproductive means where I'm not studying, like I'm taking bath or I'm eating food or I'm taking walk. In that meantime also I used to revise whatever. I used to brainstorm my mind that whatever I have read, what are the points, what I read, okay, this is the point, this is what I remember, this has to be read. So this is how your brain will remember this large syllabus of CA final or IPCC, because the syllabus is huge and we have to strategize how to get it inside our brain and how to present it in the examination. And after that, so this is the strategy which should be followed in my opinion, so that you don't need to go to any coaching class. Only 2 hours are sufficient. If you are giving both groups and time is an issue for you, then you can give 1 hour or 1.5 hours. But if you are giving 1 hour for 2 months or 2.5 months, like November attempt is approaching right now, so students who are giving both groups, they will be really confused, like how much time to give to which subject. In this case, if you give just 1 hour to audit daily for two months, that is sufficient and far better than giving 7 or 8 days or 5 days at a stretch, because in those 5 days you will miss out on your other subjects. You will forget whatever you have read in other subjects. Like in practical you need to practice, in theory you need to revise, multiple revisions. Like people say I did revise for 3 times, 4 times. I feel there is no number. If you can revise 20 times, that will be better for you. N number of times should be your optimum criteria. In day, whenever you are getting time, just think about it for 5 minutes. Okay, these are the characteristics of operational audit, or these are the similarities between operational and management audit, or these are the points, or these are the clauses. This is the clause. So you just need to make this extra effort. Just 5 or 10 minutes will make a huge difference, because what you read is not important. What you remember is more important in theory. So your focus should be on to remembering in what you are reading. If you are not revising continuously what you are reading, then your reading is of no good to you. It will not fetch you any good marks. So those who are watching this video, just try to make this audit paper as your strength rather than your weakness. You should target to get exemption in this subject so that you get a good score and you take the pressure away from your practical subjects. Because if you aim for getting exemption in this audit subject, if you are able to get good marks in this, automatically your confidence, you will have a lot of confidence. If you are in IPCC and you get exemption, you will have a confidence that you can manage it in CA final as well. And last thing is that what you write in the examination hall is equally important. So for that, I will make a separate video for that purpose. I will tell you how to approach answer writing, how you should approach an answer in CA final audit or IPCC audit. Because I followed certain strategy for answer writing also. I practiced answer writing also, which helped me a lot in tackling the questions which were very uncertain. There are certain questions which are uncertain, but most of the questions in the exam are from the book, what you have read. The only problem is that the student does not remember exactly what he or she has read. They will remember 1 or 2 points, or they will remember points in a very vague manner. They will not remember exactly what they have read. So the criteria or the crux for getting good marks in audit is that you should remember exactly what you have read, and for that you need to revise multiple times. So this is a strategy, I think so, will be very helpful, because it does not take much of your time. You get time for other subjects also, and at the same time you revise multiple times. So that multiple times revision is the key to getting good marks in audit. Thank you dosto, and I hope this video will help you. And next time I will make one video on how to do answer writing, how to approach CA final audit paper. Give your best and don't be frightened of audit or any other subject. Just have faith on your hard work that you are giving in those 2 months or 3 months. You should have confidence, and you should give so much of hard work that there is no question of failing. You just come out with flying colors. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.